Job bless. Fire Nelson here, and today I'm here to talk to you about how the war has begun. Now, I don't mean any war like a physical war with guns and tanks and bombs and all these things. No, I meant the war has begun spiritually in this world. We see it now, especially with all the headlines and stuff like this. We see the conflict, the good and the evil fighting each other constantly. We saw it with so much in just this past couple months, these past few months. We've seen so many changes and transitions and people being exposed and situations in this world that it makes us realize the spiritual war is really going on. The battle is truly full force. Before, it's little trickles here and there. There was certain people in Hollywood manipulating things and certain music that was manipulating people and things like this. But now it's everywhere. Now it seems like the spiritual bullets, the spiritual crossfire is everywhere. We can't even turn on the TV without being bombarded with 10 drama TV shows before we get to a funny one. They don't even really focus on comedies anymore. I don't know if you've noticed in entertainment, but it's more of horrors and action and drama or reality TV. They're trying to distract us as much as they can. They're trying to lower our vibration as much as they can. They don't want us laughing. They don't want us getting together and watching something that doesn't, pervert our minds or manipulate our minds. And they don't want us to be able to watch a movie with our kid without worrying about what this movie is going to show or what this movie is going to come across as morally. It's a tough situation when we wake up to how sick this world is. And I mean sick in both ways, as in like sick as in twisted, demented, evil, sinful, and also sick as in they have an illness mentally, physically, and spiritually. They need medication. They need a doctor. They need true light. They need true divine wisdom. They need the Most High. But they're stuck in this sickness, this constant cycle of being sick constantly. And it hurts us to see. It hurts us to realize we're living in this society where there's so much of this sickness running rampant. And, it's something that's barely talked about, it seems. We should be really focusing on trying to help people awaken. That should be the number one thing in school, is help people find their purpose, find their path. It's not even about purpose, but just finding their path and realizing what is righteous ways and what is wrong ways, and making sure that child confidently knows and is acting accordingly. We shouldn't be worrying about memorizing old history dates and memorizing old war dates or memorizing exactly what makes up a cell and how exactly this plant does this and does different parts of a plant. Like these things are good, but why don't you go teach kids how to garden first? Before you teach them all this and the cells and this, that, go teach them how to garden. Go teach them how to farm. Why don't we teach the kids how to meditate? Why don't we teach the kids how to think? Why isn't these self-help books on the curriculum? What is Catcher in the Rye have to do with anything? What does, I don't even know what they got kids reading anymore. But what is these books that they have people usually reading that actually help them? Like, where are these books? Why are you having these kids read these things? Why are you throwing these kids into society after teaching them basically nothing except for how to memorize things and expect them to do well? Well, no, this sickness that you leave them with tampers into other parts of society. It leaks into other parts of society. And that's why we have the problems we do now. It's because people don't know how to think. People don't know how to realize what is going on and how much the world and society is just trying to distract us. Prince. So we have to wake up and realize how much the other side is trying to truly distract us right now. It's crazy. It's wild. What's going on with Trump? What's going on with the music industry? What's going on with fashion industry? What's going on with every single industry? There's mass corruption, you know. We're seeing it all be exposed now. This is a time of reasoning, a time of reckoning, a time of, you know, repent or go home. Repent or get lost. Repent or burn. Babylon is burning. They trying their very best. This Trump situation with this, you know, fake shooter, and somehow he managed to get in there, and, you know, I don't know if you've seen a rifle, but, you know, it's pretty big. You can't just get into certain places with a rifle. And then if the dude had a gun, he would have to sit there and stand and aim. Nobody was screaming. Oh, but maybe he was on a building far away. But you hear the shots. So we got to realize the other side, you know, whatever you want to call them, the evil forces, the satanic side, you know, Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, they're working very hard, you know. Just as much as we are, we're getting things exposed. The Nickelodeon people, we're getting them exposed, you know. We're bringing people down from their pedestal, the Drakes. Even the Kendricks need to be brought down from their pedestal, but that's a whole nother conversation. But we have to realize we are doing efforts, we are doing actions, we are doing work in this world, but the enemy is also doing work. The enemy is also aggressively in their spiritual practices of the occult, you know. The enemy is also heavily making sure that they're doing their rituals every single day, every single night, multiple times. So we have to be just as diligent. We have to be just as serious about our spiritual practices, if not even more, because the enemy does not take a day for rest. So why should we? Why should we let each other be let down, be held out here, you know, naked, without cover, without armor in this world? Because when we do this, when we walk in this world without our spiritual practices, and we don't make sure that we have our energy correct and our connection with the divine, then we are walking in this world without cover, without armor. So if anything happens to us and we pass on this negative energy to someone else, we just let the oppressor win. Even if we switch out of it later, we still did what we did, you know. We still let our anger got the best of us. We still let our lust get the best of us. We still let our greed or our lack or our anxiety or depression get the best of us for those moments, and we let it affect someone else maybe. So it's important that we keep our practices. It's important that we keep our holy rituals, because the enemy is going just as hard. I mean, the Trump thing is crazy. I never thought I'd see something like this. And then you see Microsoft shut down. They're really testing us. They're really trying to, I feel, put us in a social experiment so they can see how we react to certain things, see how quick information gets spread, see how much we are, you know, gullible we are to see if we're ready for other things yet. This is what society is doing to us. They're testing us and they're playing with us like we're just, you know, some field mice, some mice in their experiment labs. But this isn't something that we need to get worried about, because we should already have the awareness that everything is temporary. Everything is not meant for us like it's meant maybe for everybody else, or that's what everybody else thinks. We know what's meant for us. We know that this world already came with abundance. We don't need this technology. We don't need this Wi-Fi. We don't need this phone even. We just enjoy that we get to use it, but we don't have to have it, All we need is, the scripture, the word. All we need is our connection with the divine. Shoot, all we need really is meditation and prayer. And we'll be fine. Put us in the woods and we'll build a hut. Put us on the middle of an island and we'll build a hammock. It doesn't matter where we are. We know we'll thrive when we have divine faith within us, throughout us. Everywhere around us, there is faith waiting for you to take hold of, but it just is up to you to stay on the course. It's up to you to stay on your path and not get driven astray. Because when you get driven astray, that's when you start losing faith. That's when you start losing hope. That's when you're like, I'm not sure I'm going to make it through this situation. We have to hold that faith, make sure that we're living righteous so we don't get ourselves even in those situations. Because when you're leading with righteousness and when you're leading especially with love, 9 times out of 10, even if a bad situation comes up, or a hectic situation comes up, you're able to handle it in the forefront so that it's not so detrimental to you if it keeps going or progressing. And hopefully it doesn't even progress. Hopefully that bad situation, you see it start to happen and you're able to defuse it right then and there. That's what having that true connection with the divine is. Knowing every situation is for us, not against us. Knowing that everything in life is happening for our greatest good, not just happening to us. We're not a victim of life. We are a not participant. We are a winner, truly, of life. We are a lucky contestant of life. To be a human in this world, not an ant, not a tree, not some, elephant in the middle of the field running from lions. To be a human in this world is a blessing. To be able to understand what I'm saying to you is a blessing. It's rare that you even understand what I'm saying to you. You could be from any other country. The captions could have it all messed up and wrong. If you get this message, it's for a reason. We have to stay aware in this world. We have to not get caught up and swept in to everything else that's going into social media. I don't really be looking into things, really. I'll be honest. I hear about things. I didn't look into the what's happening with Drake and all that. I just heard about certain things. I didn't look into about what was going on with Microsoft and all this thing. No, I heard about certain things. I don't get caught up in things. I just hear about certain things. All I need is a video or something like that, just a quick one. And I'm cool. I'm not going to spend the rest of my day telling everybody, oh, you heard about this? Oh, you heard about this? Oh, I got to stay updated. No, I don't have to stay updated. It's constant distractions. Do you know why they did this Microsoft shutdown thing? Would shut down bunches of airports, shut down bunches of businesses, shut down bunches of ways of people to feel safe and secure? It's because they wanted to make sure that they were able to. They wanted to make sure they were able to get away with it, and there's not going to be an outrage. It's probably not going to get talked about for weeks, and they're going to do it again. It's a way to control us. When we are so attached to these devices, when we are so attached to these man-made society type of things, it's only detrimental to us. It's detrimental to our health, our mental, our physical, and our spiritual. And I know it's tough to get away from certain things, but we have to only rely on the Most High and what the Most High provides, which is beautiful Mother Nature. And everything else is just a gift. But Mother Nature is going to provide us with everything we need. Even if we are destitute, well, we'll never be destitute, but even if we are in the woods, everything gets destroyed. Apocalypse, the World War IV. It's just going crazy out here. War IV. Maybe it's World War III. But it's just crazy out here. And we have to run. We have to take refuge in the woods. If I'm safe, if I'm not actively worrying about someone coming to, take my life or my family's life, and I know the next day, or I can go to sleep and not have to worry about either, I don't care where I am. I don't care if I'm in the woods. I don't care if I'm in, top of a tree house. I don't care if I'm on an island. I'm going to make the best life ever there. As long as I have that faith, as long as I know and trust in the divine, everything is going to align perfectly with time. Everything is going to align perfectly the way that it's supposed to. I just have to stay patient and stay faithful. You just got to stay patient and stay faithful. Your hammock is going to be made. Your best vacation, lifelong vacation is going to happen. You just have to stay patient and stay faithful. Stay giving, stay loving, stay connected with the divine. Keep on your spiritual practices, and don't only pray for yourself, pray for everybody, because that's what truly matters, is you being able to affect everybody eventually. It takes one person affecting one person, and that one person affecting maybe 2 people. Those 2 people affecting 4 people. And it just keeps going. That karma, that good karma that you send out just keeps building. And the same thing with bad karma, right back to you. So live righteous, not only for yourself, but it's going to benefit others naturally. And you should naturally want to do that because it feels good. When you're being righteous and you're living in a good and holy way, it feels good to help spread that love and that energy of positivity that you feel to others, because we know this world lacks that. It's scary out here. It's crazy out here. Sometimes I don't even want to talk to certain people. Well, not certain people. Sometimes I don't want to talk to people because you don't know what they're going through. You don't even want to ask some people how their day is because you're sometimes scared the answer you're going to get. But we got to be patient and we got to be loving. We got to be understanding that these people are suffering just as you were before. These people are sick just as you were before you came into the awareness of your true self, of your true connection with the divine, that we're all connected as one, but we're just in an amnesia state where we have forgotten what the truth is, and we've forgotten how to know what truth is. And this is what society loves to take advantage of, is our iniquity, our confusion about what the truth is, what divine truth is. Especially when we have that connection, when we have that faith, we're not entertained by entertainment. We're not entertained by what the news is saying about this and this situation. We can, when I saw the Trump situation, right away I knew it was fake. Before they did the videos, before I watched any other videos about it, nothing like that, I knew it was fake. And if it's real, then who cares? Okay. But the way that it looked to me, it seemed like it was fake. The way that people manipulate us nowadays is just the beginning. It doesn't matter if it was real or if it was fake. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it happened. But who cares? Leave it there. Don't let it determine, oh, now I'm going to vote for him more because I know that he's really die hard for my country. No, that's not. It's just a thing that happened. It's just some people that want attention, whether it's the person that shot the person that wants attention and thinks that he can change something by taking somebody else's life and playing God, or whether it's Donald Trump who wants attention and made a fake incident just so that he can act like he is, survived someone's shooting. It's all just about attention, and where we put our attention is where our profit goes, is where our energy goes. We want to be a prophet of, sickness, mental, illness. Because this is what this is, what society is filled with, mental illness. And we give that a bad rap, but it's a normal thing. We shouldn't normalize it, but it is a normal thing, unfortunately, in this world. And it's something that we should be focused on helping heal. Everybody should be aware that we live in this type of world and should be very careful how they speak, very careful what they do, because they know how it could affect others. And they know the condition of the world they live in. Just because not everybody's wearing masks doesn't mean that everybody isn't sick, We have to have a sign on our head that say, hey, I have this mental illness for you to be nice to people. Is that what it's going to take? People to wear shirts or badges everywhere to say, hey, I have severe depression. Please be okay with me, We shouldn't wait for people to just break and snap and become crazy for them to finally want help, finally get the help they need. The best life is waiting for us right now. Don't fall into the ways that society is trying to trick people and keep them sick and keep them in an insane asylum. Keep them a vegetable. Whatever they're labeling that you have, or whatever they're saying that you mentally have, or this and that, it can always be conquered. It can always be released. It can always be healed. But when we fall into the traps of Babylon and their ways, we'll never, ever have the time to heal. We'll always be distracted, and we'll always be following the path of other people who are sick. Sheep shouldn't follow sheep. A sheep shall follow a shepherd. A sheep shall follow someone who has actually figured out life and figured out how to actually live a peace-filled life, because the people that we see who look like they have it all figured out 9 times out of 10 don't have a peace-filled life. Having it all figured out doesn't equal peace-filled. Being peace-filled, having a complete serenity within you, means that you will accept anything that comes. It doesn't mean having it all figured out. It means you're ready for anything. It means that if anything comes to you, you have divine faith that it's going to be perfectly aligned with what you're supposed to be doing. It's going to be perfectly aligned with your mission about where you're supposed to be right then and there. Being filled with peace is being filled with knowing that you have everything you need right here, right now, and you're not worrying about what you want. That is being peace-filled. It's not being worried about society, not being worried about the drama that's going on. We're worried about making sure that we're being better in our environment every single day and making sure our environment is good. If there's people suffering in our environment, if there's animals suffering in our environment, if there's even objects or plants suffering in our environment, we're focused on that more than anything else in this world. And that is how we truly live a peace-filled life. We have to stay aligned mentally, physically, and spiritually if you want to be who we're supposed to be. Society is fighting hard. Babylon is truly, truly showing its face. It doesn't want to burn. Babylon's burning and it's clawing its way, trying to make sure that you still look, trying to make sure that you still get sucked in. I know it's tough out here. I know it's crazy out here. But don't get distracted. It's not your battle to fight. It's not your, gun to shoot. Don't be one of these people out here trying to do the most. Just do everything you can to just be a better person every single day. learn some information every single day, whether it's in a book or on a podcast or in a YouTube video. Make sure you're doing your spiritual practices and praying not only for yourself, but everybody. We have to realize there's so much distractions that they're going to throw at us. When people give us something, they always can't wait to take it. Don't let them take your peace. Don't let them take your serenity. Know that everything that's going on outside does not matter. We can have an effect somewhat to our outside environment for sure, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. The Most High has a plan, whether we do what we do or whether we don't do anything at all. There's a divine plan for it all. Because sometimes you might not do anything, sometimes you might do something. And who knows? Maybe if you did something, things wouldn't turned out exactly how they're supposed to go. So don't stress about it. Just follow your gut and follow your head and follow the laws of the Most High, and everything in this life is going to align perfectly. But we have to be aware that the other side, Babylon, is fighting very hard. But we can fight harder. We have a true shield, a true tank, a true nuke behind us. But you have to stay connected and stay aligned and do your best not to get distracted out here. So if you haven't, please subscribe, like, comment, share. And I hope you already did that. And I appreciate everybody that's been watching. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't crash and stuff like this, because then I wouldn't be able to help guide y'all through these crazy times. But be prepared. Don't get anything in this life without being prepared to lose it. That's how you'll always know the truth. You'll always know peace. Because truth brings peace. And everything in this life is temporary. So keep that in mind on your journey. You don't buy a glass thinking that you're going to have it for the next 20, 30 years. You buy that glass so you can enjoy it, so you can drink out of it, so you can have the blessing of being able to use that glass while it's here. But when it's gone, you may mourn it for an hour, you may mourn it for a day, but then you bless it and you may get a new one. Or you may not get one like that ever again. But just know everything in this life is temporary. Even these phones, even the internet, even these planes and all these things. We're just blessed to be able to use them right now while we can. There's so many other people in different older generations who didn't get to use these things that we got to use. And maybe in the future our kids and grandkids might not use the same things that we used either. So it's a blessing for us to be able to use what we can use now, but don't take it as, you're so attached to it to the point where if something like Microsoft, blackout happens again, we're just complete in hectic chaos. If our whole internet shuts down or, God forbid, the power grid shuts off, we should still be holding the same peace, the same mindset, the same righteousness, the same positivity that we do now. Because that is the truth. The Most High is going to look out for you. Stay safe during these times. Stay aware during these times. Stay strong in your spiritual practices during these times. Because, the other side is testing us heavily. The dark forces are strong against us, but we are stronger. Our light shines brighter. One love.